The biggest party of the summer takes over Cleveland as it is Summerslam this weekend. For full disclosure, I am taping this Friday morning at 10:49 a.m. So if something happens on SmackDown and you see this after, my bad. All right, let's get right into it. I'm doing this by the way in the order that the matches are placed up on Wikipedia. So up first is Damian Priest against Gunther for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. If you've been watching or listening to my content for the last little bit, you know that this is a match that I have gone back and forth on. I don't know what they're going to do. At first, it was locked into me that Gunther was just going to ride this lightning bolt and become the World Heavyweight Championship, or become the World Heavyweight Champion. But then, it's kind of, it is not the level of Triple H Booker T, but holy shit, man. If you book a guy to say homelessness is a choice, and if your parents loved you, they would have given you money so you didn't have to live in your car, and then you beat that guy, whew, whew. That's kind of shitty of you. And also, I feel like Damian Priest is starting to come into his own a little bit as world champion, but he just hasn't really clicked for me yet in that role. And so I kind of then go back to I think Gunther does win. I think it's going to be an interesting match either way, but I do think we get Gunther going into Berlin as the conquering hero and not someone who is still in need of winning a championship. Up next, it is Bayley against Nia Jax for the Women's Championship. I think it was interesting that they had Nia pin her on SmackDown on Friday in that tag team match where Mia Yim kind of felt like the obvious fall person in that bout. It feels like they've kind of been splitting things a little bit, and they've put a lot of the tension on Tiffany Stratton, and it feels like it's taken away from this bout necessarily. And so for Friday, I would really like to see a Nia Bayley, no Tiffany Stratton, whatever. Like, we get that is something that is looming with Money in the Bank, but I would like to see a Nia Jax Bayley, like, no, don't look at her, look at me. I'm the champion here. I'm the challenger here, and this is how it is going to be. I don't anticipate Stratton cashing in at SummerSlam. I know they did that with EO last year. I don't think they will do it again here. That might be a SmackDown after SummerSlam thing. I just don't think that it happens in this spot necessarily. The Raw Women's Championship, aka the WWE Women's World Championship, is up for grabs as Liv Morgan takes on Rhea Ripley, and again, this felt to me like it was obvious that Rhea Ripley was going to just win. And she was going to be the dominant performer who comes out and ends up getting the job done, reclaiming her championship, and it's like the last few months never even happened. But something happened along the way. Liv Morgan got really, really good. And I just feel like right now, you keep it with Liv Morgan. And one of the things I hate the most is... Rhea Ripley doesn't need the championship right now. Okay, well then that means the championship needs her. Like, to me, the championship should be, I don't want to say above everyone, but there should be very few that just don't need the championship. And right now, I'm not saying Rhea needs the championship, but I feel like you keep it on Liv and you keep this momentum going. I think that this is just kind of the end of Act 1 in this instead of the crescendo of this story. I feel like there is going to be a lot of shenanigans. I feel like it is going to be I think that this is going to be where the fracture in the bloodline is. And maybe you get it throughout the night. Like, maybe you do get Priest and Gunther to start the show. Balor comes in and throws off Damian Priest, and that leads to him losing. And then later in the night, the turn fully happens, and Judgment Day fully turns on Rhea Ripley with Finn, JD McDonough, and Carlito going off with Liv Morgan and Dom, Mommy, and Damian Priest form their own thing. Or they don't, who knows. The WWE Championship up for grabs as it is Cody Rhodes taking on Solo Sikoa. I would be stunned if Solo gets the win here. Cody feels like one of the locks of the card, and another lock is that it does feel like Roman Reigns shows up at this one. They've referenced him quite a few times on TV now. Solo being like, if you don't like it, you know where to find me. I just feel like this is the time that Roman comes back and we start this civil war. U.S. title on the line as Logan Paul defends it against L.A. Knight. I would love for L.A. Knight, to end up getting the United States Championship away from Logan Paul. Logan Paul playing the role of Logan Paul exceptionally well. He is remarkably good at being someone who is just painfully unlikable. But I do think it is now time with performers like Andrade and Carmelo Hayes and this mid-card that is building up in WWE on SmackDown. I do think it's time to have the mid-card championship back, and so I think LA Knight brings it back home. Intercontinental Championship, I think we get a title change here too. I think that they beat Braun Breaker once, you continue to build him up as just an absolute super duper star, and now it is time for him to get a win at SummerSlam and really coronate him as one of the next ones to watch in 2024 in WWE. And then lastly, CM Punk against Drew McIntyre with Seth Rollins as the special guest referee. There's going to be shenanigans. It is going to be all over the place, this match. I would not be surprised if we get some form of an AJ Lee run-in in this particular contest. I do think CM Punk gets the win in his return. And I think after this, it's time to stop beating Drew McIntyre like a drum. I think we have had, he gets his moment at WrestleMania, but then he gets cashed in on. And then he loses the qualifying match. And then he loses the championship match. And it's all these different things that have been colluding against Drew McIntyre that has obviously been building into this story. But coming out of this, can we get our guys some more wins? That's all I'm asking for on this show today.